And I think curiosity is sexy. We found that reduces defenses.
So in my work with couples, I work a lot with sort of restoring the passion after a marriage has fallen flat or there's been neglect in a long-term relationship. But what if only one partner in the relationship is invested in doing that? What do you do then?
Oh, well, the person who's invested should talk about how much they want to learn and grow, and to go to a relationship lecture or weekend and get information for both of them, but just say, oh, I'm really wanting to work on myself, can we get help? But I think a couple themselves, they just need to know if their relationship has fallen flat. There's so much they can do, and the first thing is to recommit to each other, of making the marriage primary. One of the things, Harville and I, we were so committed to our kids. We loved each other, and we're so admiring and committed to each other, but we loved our kids, and they were often first. And until we put our marriage first and gave each other appreciations, did a caring behavior list, ignited our own relationship, that's when our kids got healthier.
What Helen was saying about the person who wants it, if they want to keep it that way, criticize the other person for not wanting it. And that's
a great tip.
That'll be sure to do
Never
that.
get laid until the end of the century.
Right. But if you become a safe person, the reason the passion dies is because of anxiety in the relationship. And people deal with anxiety. One deals with it by withdrawing, the other deals with it with aggression. And so often the person who wants it and says, I want to spice up my marriage, is more frightened of intimacy than the person who doesn't. And they maintain their distance by criticism and by saying, you know, I want to have sex and you don't. Mm-hmm. Well, you're certainly not going to have anybody want sex with you if you tell them that they don't want to. Mm-hmm. So I think the one thing is to get curious about what's going on with us, that we are in this particular place, and to have that conversation. And the person who feels more committed is the person to lead that conversation and to take the vulnerable front line. I would like this, I want this, I don't know why we're not having it, I would like to learn from you. How could I be the kind of person with whom you would want to be more romantic, make love, spend more time with? And I think curiosity is sexy. We found that reduces defenses. But if I'm really interested, not interrogating you, but wanting to simply know what's inside of you, and I listen to that and then don't change it, you'll start liking me.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons people have affairs, right? Because somebody comes along and they're suddenly curious about us.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yes, wow.
And how about if you ask, what am I doing to turn you away? What am I doing to turn you off to me? So I'm totally not attacking you, and I'm aware that I'm the author of my lack of sex fate, because I know there's unspoken aggression. So by me saying, can you tell me what I'm doing to turn you away? I'm inviting the person to put the aggression into words rather than put it into action where you just won't give me sex.
But then how do you deal with it when that negative aggression comes at you?
Thank you for, well, I'm not saying act on it. No attacks, no assaults, right? But I just want you to please just describe to me what it might be that I'm doing or saying that's hurting you or making you mad. But you can't attack me. No attacks, no criticism. Just describe it. So now I understand.
And Tammy, I think that once that person is given the opportunity to express what it is that they're anxious about, what they're angry about, what they haven't really been able to express, that creates safety, right? That conversation in and of itself creates safety, as long as
They say it right, though.
As long as the other party can hold that space and not judge and not try to fix. And,
But they have to say it in a way that I can swallow. You can't attack me.
And they have to say it with specifics. Give me more attention. Well, what does that look like?
Right,
Can you tell me exactly when you come home, or when we see each other after a long day, do you want to hug Ben? Do you want to hug an hour later? And just the details.
Yes.
And to keep the sparks going is to create an only play zone. I think what happens after a marriage, after the romantic attraction phase, is we start to take for granted that everything becomes ordinary, and we take for granted that fewer things are less fun. And if we could come up with a time, whether it's a day or a weekend, where we find out what is fun, what is playful, and find that playful child inside of us. And I believe that is what every adult, every relationship needs, is an opportunity to get back to the basic child within them that just wants to hang out with someone who's fun.
I love what everyone said about adding in fun, about having a way to communicate that doesn't feel critical, and that all of those things would start to liven up a falling flat or really dull relationship.